The world mourns the passing of yet another devoted pastor, a man whose life was a testament to faith, integrity, and unwavering commitment to the gospel of Jesus Christ. In recent months, we've seen a heartbreaking pattern emerge: the loss of spiritual leaders who truly embodied the calling of ministry. These were not individuals embroiled in scandal or controversy. They weren't chasing fame, fortune, or personal gain. Instead, they lived humbly, served faithfully, and dedicated their lives to spreading the message of hope, redemption, and love. This particular pastor stood out among his peers. He was the kind of man who reminded us of what ministry is supposed to look like. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't self-serving, and he certainly wasn't part of the troubling trend we've seen in some corners of the church, where leaders lose sight of their mission and fall into moral compromise. No, this man was different. He was a true servant, a shepherd to his flock, and a beacon of light in a world that desperately needs spiritual guidance. His passing has left a profound void, not just in the local community where he ministered, but across the United States and even internationally. The ripple effect of his life and work extended far beyond the walls of his church. He touched lives in ways that many of us will never fully comprehend. Whether through his sermons, his outreach programs, his mentorship, or simply his presence, he made a difference. And now, as we reflect on his legacy, we are reminded of the power of a life lived in service to others. In the coming moments, we'll delve deeper into who this man was, the impact of his ministry, and why his loss is being felt so deeply. We'll explore the values he stood for, the people he helped, and the message he carried with him until the very end. So I encourage you to stay with me throughout this video as we honor his memory and celebrate the life of a man who truly lived out his calling. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to welcome each and every one of you to the channel. For someone like me, this platform is more than just a place to share news. It's a space to connect, to reflect, and to shine a light on the stories that matter. And today, this story matters. It's not just about one man's death. It's about the legacy he leaves behind and the hope he inspires in all of us. If you feel moved by this tribute, I'd be incredibly grateful if you could hit the like button. My goal is to reach 1,000 likes on this video, not for vanity, but to ensure that this message reaches as many people as possible. The more engagement we get, the wider the reach, and the more people will learn about this remarkable pastor and the lives he changed. Sharing the video across your social media platforms can also make a huge difference. It's a simple act, but one that can amplify the message and bring comfort to those who knew him or were touched by his ministry. In a time when the church is facing scrutiny and criticism, some of it well-deserved, it's important to remember that not all pastors are failing in their duties. Not all are wolves in sheep's clothing. There are still men and women out there who are doing the work, living the gospel, and serving with integrity. This pastor was one of them, and I believe with all my heart that he is now hearing those beautiful words, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." That phrase, taken from the parable of the talents in the book of Matthew, is more than just a biblical quote. It's a promise, a reassurance that those who labor in love, who serve without seeking recognition, and who remain faithful to their calling will be rewarded. It's a phrase that gives us hope, that despite the corruption, the scandals, and the disappointments, there are still those who are getting it right, and when they leave this world, they leave behind a legacy that continues to inspire. This pastor's life was a living sermon. He didn't just preach on Sundays, he lived his faith every day. He showed up for people in their darkest moments. He offered guidance, comfort, and truth. He wasn't afraid to speak out against injustice, nor was he hesitant to extend grace to those who had fallen. His ministry was rooted in compassion, and his heart was always open. People from all walks of life found solace in his words and strength in his presence. He had a way of making everyone feel seen, heard, and valued. Whether you were a longtime member of his congregation or someone who stumbled into his church on a whim, you were welcomed with open arms. That kind of love is rare, and it's why his passing feels so personal to so many. As we continue to navigate the complexities of faith and leadership in today's world, stories like his remind us of what's possible. They challenge us to hold our leaders accountable, yes, but also to celebrate those who are doing the work quietly and faithfully. They encourage us to look beyond the headlines and see the humanity behind the ministry. So as we honor this pastor today, let's also commit to carrying forward his legacy. Let's be the kind of people who serve selflessly, love deeply, and live with purpose. Let's support the pastors who are walking the narrow path and doing the hard work. And let's never forget that even in the midst of loss, there is hope.
Pastor Ted Lamb's journey in ministry began with a clear and compelling call on his life. He pursued theological education at Oklahoma Baptist University, earning his degree in 1989. That academic foundation was just the beginning of a lifelong mission to serve, teach, and build communities of worship. From the moment he stepped into ministry, Pastor Ted demonstrated a deep commitment to the gospel and a passion for reaching people from all walks of life. His work with the Baptist General Convention of Oklahoma, BGCO, was both extensive and impactful. He served as a language missions specialist, a role that allowed him to connect with diverse communities and help bridge cultural gaps within the church. His heart for missions and his ability to communicate across cultures made him an invaluable asset to the BGCO. He also served on the board, contributing to strategic decisions that shaped the direction of the organization. One of Pastor Ted's most significant contributions was in the area of church planting. As the director of church planting for the BGCO, he played a pivotal role in founding and nurturing new congregations. Among his many accomplishments was the establishment of Tulsa Baptist International Church, a testament to his vision of creating spaces where people from all backgrounds could come together to worship. His dream was ambitious: to see a church plant in every state, offering a place of refuge, community, and spiritual growth. But Pastor Ted's vision extended far beyond the borders of the United States. He had a global mindset and a heart for international ministry. He became deeply involved with Asian American worshipers, particularly within the Chinese community. Recognizing the unique needs of Chinese Baptists in America, he helped launch a new ministry within the Southern Baptist Convention, SBC, focused on planting churches tailored to their cultural context. These churches weren't designed to replicate the worship styles of China or Hong Kong, but rather to reflect the American Baptist tradition while honoring the heritage of their congregants. Pastor Ted's leadership in this initiative was transformative. He understood that effective ministry required cultural sensitivity, theological depth, and a genuine love for people. His efforts helped create spaces where Chinese American believers could worship freely, grow spiritually, and feel truly at home. Today, many Asian American Christians are paying tribute to Pastor Ted, acknowledging the profound impact he had on their lives and communities. Oklahoma remained the heart of Pastor Ted's ministry. It was his home base, the place where he served in numerous churches and mentored countless leaders. Many people across the state had the privilege of hearing him preach, attending churches he helped plant, or working alongside him in ministry. His influence was felt in pulpits, classrooms, boardrooms, and living rooms. He was a shepherd in every sense of the word, guiding, nurturing, and caring for his flock with tireless devotion. Those who knew Pastor Ted often speak of his work ethic and his quiet strength. He was known to stay late at his desk long after others had gone home, poring over sermon notes, ministry plans, and correspondence. For him, the work of the Lord was never finished. He believed in giving his all, and he did so with grace and humility. Other pastors have shared stories of his dedication, describing him as someone who never sought the spotlight but always showed up when it mattered most. Pastor Ted leaves behind his beloved wife Jane, with whom he shared a long and loving marriage, and his son Jed. The Lamb family has been a pillar of strength and faith, and we ask everyone to keep them in your prayers during this difficult time. Their loss is deeply personal, and our hearts go out to them as they grieve the passing of a husband, father, and spiritual leader. A private memorial service has already been held to honor Pastor Ted's life. A public service is scheduled for November 15th at Friendship Baptist Church in Texas, where many are expected to gather and pay their respects. It will be a time of reflection, celebration, and gratitude for a life well lived, a life that touched thousands and left a legacy of faith and service. As we remember Pastor Ted, we are reminded of the words from Matthew 25:23, "Well done, good and faithful servant." These words echo in the hearts of those who knew him, worked with him, and were blessed by his ministry. He lived a life worthy of that divine commendation, and we take comfort in knowing that he is now in the presence of the Lord he served so faithfully. We invite everyone to join in honoring Pastor Ted's memory. If you have stories, memories, or prayers you'd like to share, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. Your words can offer comfort to the Lamb family and serve as a testament to the incredible impact Pastor Ted had on so many lives. Let's also work together to spread this message far and wide. Please hit the like button to help us reach our goal of 1,000 likes. Every click helps increase visibility and ensures that more people learn about Pastor Ted's legacy. Share this video across your social media platforms to amplify the message and inspire others with the story of a man who truly lived for Christ.